folks. It's Tyler with J16 Printers. Asking about how long it takes to print on our J16. So, I'm going to head to our, we offer 40 by 60 centimeter canvases. I'm going to run my bed out here. Hopefully y'all can see me. You can see me okay. Lay it here, and I'll do I'll grab my camera here in a second, kind of after this is all said and done. But I wanted to show a real-time printing of what it takes to line it up, go to the software, put it in the software, send it over, print it, and then show you the finished product. Then I'll grab the camera and I'll show you kind of what I'm lining up to currently. So currently on the bed, the nice thing about this model here on the bed directly has a ruler for me that tells me where my edge marks are. I just line everything up to that. It's always going to fall in this far corner here. It would be my right hand corner nearest me. It's fairly lined up. Let's turn some more out here a little bit. Just check on the far side, see how we're looking. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So over here on the software, there's the telemetry. It's an automatic checker. It's going to run the bed back, come back forward, and do a thing here. Get it lined up with this eyeball on the back side. Afterwards, it'll run through, do its thing. Myself, I never trust these. I always want to run it over, check it by eyeball. I check my eyeball a lot more than I trust this machine. Today we'll be printing a canvas print. Don't want to just give that away quite yet. It says it's good to go. I'm going to run it out a little bit again here. And slowly move my head over, kind of bump it over so I can get an eyeball check. Here I'm going to go up a little bit over my head, which is a little close and I like it. You go back out a little bit, a little farther. I can see it there now. I can come back down with the head. So I'm pretty comfortable with where it's at. Turn that off. Don't need the vacuum bed right now. Alrighty, I'm satisfied. What we're going to do now, over here in the software, I've already uploaded my canvas design. At this point, I can grab my camera and we'll go together and we'll see how this is looking. So I wanted to give a real-time example of what I'm doing here. And see here, hard to see, my bed's getting somewhat dirty. But there's number markings showing your ruler on the side and goes up that side as well. This is the corner I'm talking about. These are the eyeballs I was talking about. You can kind of see the red light there. So I've uploaded my image. Won't go through all that process, and I've sent it over via file. So over here, it's currently here. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to only print left today, just to slow it down a little bit, because this one here would be one of our slower speeds. So I will give you like a extreme amount of how long it's going to take to print this thing. I'm going to hit print, and we're off to the races. I'm going to put this back on the stand now. I might end up walking away for a second because this might take a little longer than I want to stand here, but kind of see as we're going. I'm also going to check for my height and make sure I'm okay with that. Might bump it down a little bit just so it gets a little closer. Printing here. It's currently 11:32, at least on this computer. That don't sound right to me. That might be right. But put you back on a holder here. It's a wonderful snowy day here in Tarleton, Ohio. I'm myself quite ready for the warm weather. We might speed this up for the final publication of this, just for the fact we're not publishing a 20-minute video just for you to watch it back and forth. But it was 11:32 when we started printing. And then I'll give you a kind of a timestamp to which one it is finished. In honor of the 250th anniversary of our nation, I went ahead and, with the helpful use of computers and technology, created an image of George Washington with U.S. Grant, two of American statesmen. My personal two favorites, but each their own, I reckon. But figure we'll hang this up in the office somewhere at some point. Remember, this here is only printing left. Printing left, I have found, is going to give you your highest resolution image compared to doing bidirection. However, bidirection is going to be twice as fast. So I figured I'd run it slow, give you the far extreme what it's going to take. And I like this canvas simply because it covers 98% of the bed. And it kind of gives an idea on the slowest speed for running it. I also want to show off this super nice quality print it ends up printing after everything's said and done. If there are some more things you'd like to see printed or done, this here is our J16 model. We do have its bigger brother, the J36, almost identical machine. I like these because it adds in the extra colors. So it's going to add in your light magenta and light cyan, giving you a more true color picture when it is done printing. In this machine here, we're currently using neutral ink with kind of that happy medium between the hard and the soft. While we're watching this print. So one tip, if you are, hate wasting, pieces of paper and other blanks, I'll show here from the camera. DTF paper film. You can print directly on it with the neutral film. With neutral ink, sorry. You print directly on it and it peels right off. So this here is our neutral ink. Was testing some color flag out before getting this all printed, getting it all geared up to go. Nice thing about it, flexible. So it flexes and it would work well on your leatherette if you're looking at doing hard substrates as well as flexible substrates. So with that, kind of gives you a nice thing. But however, I will caution you, it will crack under high tension. Remember, although it seems extremely slow, I've slowed it down for only left pass. It's going to give me my highest quality image that I want out of this. But it's going to give you the far extreme of how long it's going to take to print a full image. On the back here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, we'll turn it over a little bit. So right here, my light here, behind here, let's look here what we got. That is my white cap. I'll pull this off really quick. So the lights on the back here indicating to me that my white ink is low. So it looks like I'm going to have to run back in the back and grab some white neutral ink. Put in this machine so we don't run out halfway through our print. You can also see how long it takes me to get back with ink. So I went ahead and grabbed a bottle of our neutral Eye Magic ink here. It's white. You put that back here in the back. At least pour a little bit into that light goes off for me. Don't want to run out of ink. You really have to. Pour a little bit back in there. So don't spill too much of anything. Just I'll pour a little bit in. I just have to get that light to shut off for me. Put my cap back on so no contaminants get inside of it. Over here, you want to finish watching the process of printing it. I'll step away for a moment and do that. Alrighty, folks, I'm back with you. Well, we have one filler on the canvas now. Time currently is 11:44. We're about 10 minutes in, and we are about halfway through the print. for those of you who decided to stick around this long, we appreciate your patience and time. We will also, well, not we, I, will also try to get a copy of this condensed down to where it's just a few minutes to get an idea of how long this is taking. Since we'll be here for a few minutes, I figured we can share some information about these two fellows that we are printing with George Washington and U.S. Grant. So George Washington, he was born on February 22nd, 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He was educated by private tutors, and he was later trained to be a land surveyor. As a young man, Washington gained experience in the Virginia militia during the French and Indian War. Some even say he may have started that, but we'll get into that at a later date. In 1775, he was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Washington led American forces through 8 years of the war against Great Britain. He saw the Continental Army to victory at Yorktown in 1781, which effectively ended major fighting. After the war, Washington resigned his military commission and returned to his civilian life at his home, Mount Vernon. So, fast forward, list a little bit. In 1787, Washington was unanimously chosen to preside over the Continental Convention in Philadelphia. In 1789, he was elected to be the first president of the United States. He served 2 terms in office from 1789 to 1797. During his presidency, the federal capital was being established, the Bill of Rights was ratified, and Washington retired after a second term, returned again to Mount Vernon. He died there on December 14, 1799, at the age of 67. Fun fact, the first fossil was discovered in 1800. George Washington never knew dinosaurs may have existed. So, moving on to Ulysses S. Grant, information on him, since why not? You're already here. His real name actually was Hiram Ulysses Grant, but due to an error at West Point in his logically there, either you take the name Ulysses Sampson Grant or you leave West Point. But anyway, Ulysses Sampson Grant was born on April 27, 1822 in Point Pleasant, Ohio. He grew up in Ohio and showed early ability in mathematics and horsemanship. He entered the United States Military Academy at West Point and graduated in 1843. He served with distinction in the Mexican-American War under Generals Zachary Taylor and Winfield Scott. After the war, Grant struggled financially and worked in several civilian jobs. With the outbreak of the American Civil War in 1861, Grant re-entered military service. He rose rapidly through the ranks due to his effectiveness as a commander. Grant led Union forces in major campaigns at Fort Donelson, Vicksburg, and Chattanooga. In 1864, he was appointed commanding general of the United States Army. Grant directed Army strategy until Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to him at Appomattox Courthouse on April 9, 1865. After the war, Grant served as 2 terms as president from 1869 to 1877. Following his presidency, he traveled extensively around the world. Later in life, Grant wrote his personal memoirs while battling throat cancer. The book was published shortly after his death and became one of the most successful memoirs in American history. Grant died on July 23, 1885, at the age of 63. He is buried at the Grant's Tomb in New York City. For folks looking at some things to read, and if you're into history as much as I am, really highly recommend reading his memoirs. It's the personal memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant, first published in 1885, published by a notable author, Mark Twain. Published it for his family after his death, giving kind of, by the time Grant was dying, was financially in not a good spot. So, as one last thing, part of his family to kind of keep that for them, that memoirs saved them financially for quite some time. I like these 2 men because they have a lot of similarities in their upbringing and raising, both known as notable horsemen. Both are brilliant generals. And they're not compared as often as they ought to be, at least in my opinion. But we're happy to hear some rebuttals on that too. But I know we're printing video and we're getting into some history and discussion, but why not? We're here. Okay, we're almost finished here. We got probably, I don't know, about 2 inches left on the canvas. Time is currently 11:51, or 53. We are now about 20 minutes into printing this print. So I'm going to guess this probably about 25 minutes or so to get this thing completely done. Now once mine, remember again, that we are printing only strictly on left past only. So when it's moving left, it's only printing during that motion. If we were printing bidirectional, so printing during the left movement as well as the right movement back, this would have been done about half the time. However, since this is a little bit of a special print for myself, I wanted to slow it down so I could get the best quality possible. Because I have the time to take time to do it. A good estimate here on bidirectional would be about 15 minutes to do the full photo. Slowly get closer and closer to that. But for those of you who stuck around with me for the 30 minutes from start to finish for this print, we appreciate your time. Stay tuned for some more videos from me. We're going to try doing some tech tips with Tyler. I handle U.S. technical support from J's Printers, as well as handle some of the sales. With that, I can be reached at tyler@jsprinterparts.com. Be happy to shoot me an email, any kind of questions you may have, or comments or concerns. We are on the home run stretch at this point. According to my scan here, we are at 99% done, and we are, at least video-wise, we are at the almost 29-minute mark, and we are finished. Time is 11:56. So from start to finish, you're looking at, with doing a slow print with slow speeds, looking at right around about a half an hour job. Thank you for tuning in, taking time to sit through this with me. But at least this will give you a true idea of how long this is going to take at home. So, thank you. If you have any more questions, let us know.